Welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. This episode, we're right up the road to the Bardstown area.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill.
Have a little Heaven Hill.
One of my favorite distilleries.
They have a lot of really cool things. It's
They
a
got
great
a
distillery.
really nice bar.
Great bar with awesome
Good
bartenders.
Good doors.
Really big doors
I
that
don't
you
bring up
can
old shit.
that you cannot go through the big overhead door, but you can go through the side door if you really wanted to. That's all beside the point.
Nothing
Anyway,
to do with the whiskey.
this is the Heaven Hill Grain-to-Glass Wheated Bourbon. They came out with these, I want to say last year, the whole Grain-to-Glass series. There's a standard bourbon, a wheated bourbon, and a rye.
Yeah,
I
three of
want
them.
to say the standard bourbon actually made like the top 20 list for Whiskey Advocate,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. It was in the top 20, but it was towards the bottom, I think.
You got the rye one, right?
This is the wheated.
It's the weeder.
This is the wheated. I did not go with the rye. Thank you very much. I thought maybe the wheat could be interesting. 121 proof. That's
Nice
also the
proof.
reason why I picked that up, because I believe it's the highest proof. It is 52% corn. It is 35% wheat, 13%
Yeah,
malted
13%.
barley. Okay, that's what it is.
12% malted barley.
So it is a pretty good chunk of wheat. I believe it's on the higher end on the wheat for wheated bourbons. The reason why I have beef with this whole setup is the price.
I like the bottle.
Yeah.
The bottle's great. The cork's really
great.
cool. The fact that they decided to come up, that's a heavy pour.
Thanks, buddy.
Good for you.
I was gonna say
This isn't 80 proof, is it?
this is the 120. It's 121 proof.
My biggest beef is the price. They came out with this lineup and they're all $100. That's what we'll just use $100 because it's $99. It's basically what it is. I don't come on. What are you doing?
Well, that's the thing too, dude. We've talked about it before. You get some of these newer
But think of,
distilleries that come out,
but this is Heaven Hill.
and then right out of the gate, they're
I think they were tailgating some of the other grain-to-glass distilleries that were coming out, like Frey Ranch. Whom else am I thinking of out west? But there's a couple other people that were doing it. Maybe Texas. I think they were
what
trying
was it,
to
Law
like.
for Laws, something
Yeah,
like that.
Laws is another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were tailgating that, and then, oh no, we're in the state we're in now.
But Heaven Hill also makes larceny, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And larceny barrel proof costs how much?
I mean, you're supposed to get it $75. I mean,
Okay.
that's MSRP. Yeah.
Larceny barrel proof. Who's won Whiskey of the Year previously, and like 2-3 years ago?
Minnick is
the handle I got
it's
on
in
my bar
Minnick's
right
top
now.
5 the last 2 years in a row.
Always. There's one of their releases every year is an amazing bottle, and it's $70-ish.
Yeah.
Give or take $5.
Yep.
And you release this, and it's $100. I don't get it.
My take is you see the headlines every now and then that the bubble's about to burst. So like, hey,
Take
we're
advantage
we're
while you
gonna
can.
we're gonna throw it out there $100. It's what? Is it distillery only? Or is it?
No, you
No,
can get it
no,
anywhere.
it's
Okay.
now it
Yeah,
is
it's
now
everywhere.
full release.
Okay. I think it's one of those. It's like, hey,
Probably limited outside.
they're saying the
of,
bubble's gonna is slowly gonna burst.
take some advantage.
Let's take advantage of it right now while it's still
Yeah.
hot.
We
And
got a farmer on the front, a bunch of grains. Look how much we worked at it.
Yeah, and they did source it, so they vary.
They grow on the backside of the property.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Right. It's all grown locally. They sourced it specifically so that it could grow on their property. The wheat and the corn, I think, are grown on property.
Yeah, that bottle I brought back from Montana a couple years ago. Everything that's in that bottle is from their
Yeah.
Own property.
All the grains
Yeah.
and the water
Yeah.
is from their property. That bottle, I still got a little bit left. That bottle's good.
Same as the Frey. Like they everything, and the mash goes
Yeah.
back, and they fed it to the animals, who then
a
brew
lot of
it.
those
It's like
places
the
out
whole
there
thing
do
is
that,
circular. The nose is.
Nose is good.
There's nothing wrong with the nose.
It's very, very. It's a very wheat whiskey, wheat bourbon nose. A little bit of baking spice, a little bit of cinnamon,
I get a lot of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Kind of cinnamon,
but like a sweet softness to it, not like an aggressive
It approaches.
Booker's type. You
I
know, that
get like
cinnamon.
if you just opened up like the little box of Red Hots. That
Yeah,
that cinnamon blast.
Yeah.
The candied.
Or a soda. I'm getting that effervescence of a pop.
Cinnamon soda?
I mean, not a cinnamon soda, but like
I was gonna
a
say,
Dr.
what kind of
Pepper or
soda
a
you
cherry
drink?
cola.
The cola.
The
Yeah,
cola.
I'm getting the
Cola.
cola notes, big time.
All right. Well, now you said it. I get it too. But
It's-
it's only because you
Sure.
said it though. Power suggestion.
That's what happens. Even briny. I don't know.
I'm
That's
good
just be me.
Whoa. That is Fireball candy. Like the big jawbreaker guys.
Yeah.
Really sugary, sweet, cinnamon.
That's good. It doesn't drink like it's 121 though.
It does not. It's not harsh. It's not aggressive. It's
I think the
warming?
water. I think the water is gonna ramp it up though.
I get a little warmth. Like you can that's the only place where I could be like, oh yeah, that's 120.
Yeah.
It's warm.
The aftertaste is just a straight up the tail end of a Fireball jawbreaker.
It is.
I get this
It really
grainy
is.
note though. I get this weird grain, like a really
See,
green.
I got that when I
grain
first
note.
opened it. Very grain forward is when I first opened it, and I was not happy.
It's almost like
I was
sunflower
annoyed.
seeds, like that really green, like
Sunflower seeds.
if that makes
Whoa.
sense. Like
You're,
it's
no, now I want to see that.
it's very like it's very like or a pistachio where it's like you get it when it's really sealed and it's closed. It's not open yet. It's not ripe yet, or it's not. I don't get any of that on the nose. The nose is good, and I get a ton of that cinnamon. But like the cinnamon hits me in the beginning, but then it gets grainy to me. I don't know.
There's something funky after the cinnamon. But boy, it's almost like drinking an Isla. Like you need to get past the cinnamon to get to that secondary note, and the secondary note is slightly off.
It hits my tongue like with effervescence and like.
I wonder how many
and
more
cinnamon.
releases because it says each release, and they've got 3 now. I wonder if they're gonna do any more.
Just like the Architect, I think they're gonna dial in. They're gonna realize what they're doing, and they're gonna really dial in because they've got so much
And they're
money
gonna
to
add
play with this.
They're gonna add $25 to the MSRP.
I will never buy it.
Nope.
Well,
Don't say that.
I'll never say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get the text messages from you all the time, like, guys, you won't believe what I bought.
It's been a while, though, huh? But do you get that like that nutty? Like
There's
that
something-
oily, nutty. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
It's
not
weird though. Like I said, it's like an Isla. Take another sip, get past the cinnamon. Like think of like drinking an Isla where you have to kind of get past the smoke to get to like the secondary and the tertiary notes. You need to do that with cinnamon, which is really, really weird. But there's something. The next level down is
I'm telling you, I swear to God,
odd.
it's that sunflower. It's that green
Yeah.
ass sunflower seed. It's
like it didn't get quite baked
It's an
all the
oily
way.
nut, but it's not a walnut. It's not a pecan. It's not a peanut. It's
The aftertaste I get is a boiled peanut,
okay.
which are gross.
See, I'm gonna say
Gross.
I get almost a
I
Brazil
don't ever
nut.
want to eat those. Okay.
A Brazil nut.
Yeah, I was thinking macadamia.
You know, like that kind of
or-
like weird. I mean,
it's
they just have
super thick.
super thick, and it's meaty.
Yeah.
And that I'm almost
It's
there.
not one of my favorite nuts. But that aftertaste, for me, it's along the lines of a boiled peanut. So you get the peanut note, you get a little bit of that salty water, but
I got a briny.
Briny,
I
you
got
said,
brine
yeah,
on the nose at the beginning too.
Now I just got it on the palate. As soon as when we said salty water, I was like, oh yeah, that.
I'm gonna wait for water now.
I
for the
don't.
rest
I
of
need
this.
to.
I think
I don't
water's gonna help
under-
this.
I don't understand boiled peanuts, but I need. they're
No,
gross.
I don't get it either.
They're gross.
All right, let's see what
It's
water
just
does.
hard. They're hard to eat. They're like, do you put the whole thing in your mouth and crunch it up? I don't get it.
I don't think we ate the shell.
I open it with my hand and it's just like this is
It's
a
a
mess.
It's
Like,
mush.
Man, that cinnamon is just like.
yeah.
Woo!
It got turned up a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
See, I think the proof. I think it's gonna drink.
The
hotter.
proof.
I think it's
I
gonna
got
drink
I got a
hotter.
whole lot more proof on the nose too.
Yeah, really proofy cinnamon whiskey. I kind of like the palate better.
It's got more
weird.
sweetness to it,
Much better.
Yeah,
creamy-
it kind of like balanced everything out.
It's almost like a cinnamon bun. I get creaminess. I get a little bit of bready.
All right, I get where you're
icing.
going with that. Cinnamon bun versus.
That weird green note went away completely.
Yeah, much better with water on the palate.
Ooh,
Yeah.
little Cinnabon going on in there. I like that.
I would say the nose is a little like harsher
Yeah,
with water.
yeah. Ton of barrel notes. More. I got more char.
It's like proofy, more aggressive. Like everything about it's just a little bit harsher.
It's a burnt cinnamon stick. It's just.
It is. It is like,
Drop it in there and then hit it.
oh, like man, it's almost making my eyes water. It's very aggressive, but as soon as you taste it, it's like, oh, that's really nice.
Now it's the cinnamon note on the nose is more like the red candies that are in the wrapper, not a jawbreaker.
In that really bad mix that you don't want to get any candy out of when you're offered, like, there's
No,
like...
not the mix. Like in the red, like you go to a restaurant, it's in the wrapper.
Okay.
Like the
cinnamon discs.
The discs.
Yeah.
That's what the cinnamon I get with the water,
Candied.
not the Fireball jawbreaker.
I'm gonna say I almost get what you were saying, like the, like when you make a cocktail
Right.
with a piece of like a cinnamon stick and you burn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get off the nose. Like it's like aggressively cinnamon and just like
I just still
overpowering.
get that sugary cinnamon.
The palate's
Not
just like
the disc.
the palate's nice.
I really enjoy the palate with the water.
Me too.
I mean, it made it significantly better.
Much better. Much better.
A little creamier.
Yeah.
Creamier. It's
Creamier,
almost like the
little
first bite of a
like
cinnamon
oil,
roll.
like nice, like mouth coating to it. Like everything about that's much nicer. The nose is
Yeah.
whew, scale 1 to 10.
8.
God, you are totally writing my review.
I'm gonna go 7.4.
I'm not far off. If I went 8.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
You get the other 6 points for bringing it back.
No, man.
I'm
no.
also thinking they're going to work on this. They're gonna dial in.
I would have another pour of this, and if I
Yeah.
saw it, I'd probably buy a bottle. I like the proof. I like the notes. I would like to maybe put just a little cube in a.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
This would be good.
Just the
Yeah.
regular
Right.
freezer cube.
Yeah, chill it out, dilute it just a touch. What did you say?
It would make a 7.4. Yeah. It would make a killer Manhattan. Killer.
I'm going 6.2.
I had a terrible Manhattan last night.
I'm going
Bad
6.2. I don't like.
know.
There's too many off notes for a $100 bottle.
Oh yeah.
To me, that like you put those things together.
Sometimes I forget
It's
price.
neat and it's fun and there's a lot of like interesting pieces to this, but for a $100 bottle, there's too many off notes for me to
would you
say.
dial back the cinnamon or the proof? If you had to pick one.
The cinnamon.
Yeah, I would say cinnamon.
It's too cinnamon forward, in my opinion, for a balanced whiskey.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what wheaters
Mm-hmm.
come off. They just come off as a little cinnamon forward. But again, if I'm going to compare that to a larceny barrel proof, which is generally 120 something,
But there's not then all the cinnamon.
that cinnamon note it's kind of like you get a little baking spice, but it's like a hint of it, and it's all this nice sweet brown sugars and
Baker's
things that
7.
yeah,
Come off. That blows
yeah,
us out of the
blows
water.
us out of the water, and it's $100, and that bothers me.
See, I start thinking to myself too, and I go, that's a bad score.
I think you both went high. That's my opinion.
I'm being positive.
I'm very.
I don't know why.
I like my number.
I think it is because I really like
Glass is always half empty for you, huh?
I'm a negative guy. I'm a realist. I'm a realist here.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep scoring things like 8s, like, come on, like, where's there to go?
Where are we gonna? Yeah.
I gave the last one a 6.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's because it was 80 proof. I mean, come on.
It was only a 6 because he got the point for bringing it back from Germany. It was about a 5.
Yeah. Even though I scored it that high, I'm not buying a bottle of any of them. But I would love to taste the lineup before I.
I want to taste. I want to taste the
buying
bourbon and the rye, and be able to say whether or not they really should be $100 bottles. Because
Before
all 3 of them are $100.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense to me.
I'm telling you, they're taking advantage.
Yeah, well, everybody is going to try
I don't
right now.
necessarily blame them.
No, I don't blame
I think
them.
I'm giving it a little nod also to
But I don't need to buy it.
going out of their. I mean, when has Heaven Hill done anything different?
Yeah.
They just have their staples and they run it. So I don't know.
We're all gonna have to take one for the team and buy the other 2 so we can
At some point.
at some point.
Got to try the other 2.
Yeah.
You and I. He bought this one. I'll buy I'll buy the rye.
Yeah. It's got to be an MSRP. I'm not overpaying for this. No way.
They're all. It's readily available at the store. The store has that. They have
Well, $100 is not necessarily in everyone's wheelhouse. Like we've talked about this before. I mean, everyone has that range.
Right.
I mean, me, it's like 40 to 75. Like, I'll buy it all day long. the $100, like, might reach out to you guys. Like, what have you guys heard about this?
Right.
Yeah.
If you know it's good,
if
you'll
I'm
pull
gonna
that
if I'm gonna
trigger.
pull that trigger, I enjoyed the pour. I did like it better with water.
Me too.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Again, I would like to try with a small cube though. Give me 2 ounces.
Interesting.
Even just in the Glenny with a small cube, just dilute it a little bit more.
Yep. I feel the
Chill
same
a
way.
little bit.
I'd like to try batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, if that's what they're
Yeah.
going down the road of, like maybe along the
Not
lines
sure.
of Architect or something like that. They're experimenting with the mash bills, and
I bet they do.
we'll see. Yeah,
bet
I think
they
so
do.
too.
I'm sure we're gonna review the other two
Sooner or later.
sooner or later.
It'll happen.
So we hope you enjoyed our first of the Heaven Hill Grain-to-Glass series. Because again, we will get the other two.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you did, still, as always, love the support of the channel and encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
And if you enjoy whiskey reviews, whiskey content, cocktails, anything that
Three
has to-
knuckleheads. Just
talking about whiskey, subscribe. We put out episodes about 2 times a week, and right up here I will link up. I'm gonna do a Larceny barrel proof. I think that's be an appropriate comparison as a
Heaven Hill product.
Heaven Hill
Weeder.
barrel proof wheated whiskey, and you'll kind of hear the differences in the notes that we get off of that versus this. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's a good point. Good point. Yeah, you like Heaven Hill? Yeah, what's your favorite expression?
Favorite.
Ton of stuff. They got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, they are. Love to hear from you.
Thanks for watching.
See you on next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.